If it wasn't for that massive snowplow in the foreground, you probably would have spotted this little gem. P-Class number 125 was built in 1882 for the Jutland Funen Company for use on the 2 line, where the rails were so light that it was impossible to use bigger engines. The engines were designed by Chief Designer Otto Bosse Jr., who would later go on to become Chief Designer for the State Railways. He designed the engines as 040s, which meant that it was built with 4 coupled driving wheels and 4 wheels in the back, or front if you like. Because the engines had this special little detail that it had a bogie added underneath the tender, something that Bosse also gained patent on. Why the class exactly got this detail, I honestly don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But it meant that the engines were designed to run tender first. In the early 1900s, many of the P-Class's old lines were getting stronger track, and with it followed some moving around until they eventually ended up at various private railways around the country. One of which, the Teesdale-Frederiksberg Railway, asked the State Railways if it was possible to run these engines with funnel in front, to which they replied that they deemed it possible to do so. As for 125, it was sold to the Copenhagen and Slangerup Railway as their number 6, and when this line was taken over by the State Railways in 1948, the engine once again found itself under State Railway ownership. The State Railways, however, didn't find it to any use, as it was somewhat outdated compared to the newer P-Class, which arrived in 1907. Funnily enough, designed by the same man. Instead of scrapping it, the State Railways decided to store it in their antique collection until they could find a suitable place for a museum. Today the engine can be seen on display at the Danish Railway Museum in Odense, where it can be seen in its late 1800s condition. More information about the class can be found at jernbanen.dk, note you'll need a translator, and more information about the museum can be seen at jernbanemuseet.dk/en.